I found out my neighbor was poisoning my dogs, so I set up cameras and caught them in the act. It started with Buster throwing up green foam on my kitchen floor at 3 a.m. My golden retriever had never been sick a day in his 8 years, but there he was, retching violently while my German Shepherd mix, Rosie, cowered in the corner, drooling and shaking uncontrollably. I rushed them both to the emergency vet, heart pounding as Buster collapsed in my arms in the parking lot. "It looks like poisoning," Dr. Kellerman said grimly after running extensive blood tests. "Some kind of plant-based toxin, very concentrated. Did they get into anything unusual in your yard recently?" I shook my head frantically. My dogs were well trained. They didn't eat random things off the ground. The vet gave them activated charcoal and IV fluids, and after 6 agonizing hours and won $200, they were stable enough to come home. "Keep them inside for the next few days," she warned sternly, "and figure out exactly what they got into. If this happens again, they might not survive." But I already had a dark suspicion forming. For 3 months, my neighbor Dolores had been complaining obsessively about my dogs. She'd moved in next door after her husband died, a bitter woman in her 70s who seemed to hate everything about my life. The dogs barking when the mailman came, the way they'd run along our shared fence line playing, even their mere existence seemed to personally offend her. Last week, she'd cornered me aggressively while I was getting my mail. "Those mutts of yours are ruining my perfect garden," she'd said, pointing a gnarled finger directly at my face. "They're digging under the fence and destroying my property." I checked immediately. There were no holes anywhere. My dogs always stayed in my yard. "I'm sorry if they're bothering you, but they're really not causing any damage to—" "Don't you dare lie to me," she'd cut in viciously. "I know exactly what I see every day. If you don't control those animals properly, I will handle it myself." The threat had seemed empty and harmless at the time. Now, watching Buster struggle to keep even water down, it felt anything but empty. That afternoon, I walked the entire fence line between our properties carefully. On her side, I spotted something that made my blood run completely cold. Scattered strategically near the base of the fence were small, organized piles of what looked like hamburger meat mixed with dark green leaves. I took detailed photos from every angle and collected samples in a plastic bag. Dr. Kellerman confirmed my absolute worst fears. "This is definitely oleander," she said, examining the plant matter under a microscope. "Extremely toxic to dogs. Even small amounts can cause complete heart failure within hours." My hand shook violently as I drove home. She was deliberately trying to kill my dogs. But knowing it and proving it legally were two completely different things. I needed solid evidence that would hold up if I went to the police. That night, I ordered professional security cameras online with overnight delivery. While I waited anxiously, I kept the dogs inside and started planning my strategy. If Dolores thought she could murder my innocent pets and get away with it, she was about to learn otherwise. The cameras arrived the next evening. I installed 4 of them strategically along the fence line, hidden carefully in the trees and bushes where she couldn't possibly see them. They were motion activated with crystal clear night vision and connected directly to an app on my phone. For 2 tense days, absolutely nothing happened. Then, on Thursday morning at exactly 6:47 a.m., my phone buzzed urgently with an alert. I couldn't fit what happens next in this short video. Watch the rest down below.